There's something that I really want you to get when it comes to manifesting what you want. You have to learn to loosen your attachment to the reality that you're in. And what I mean by this is that at this human level, we tend to be very identified with the reality that we're in. You might not realize it, but inside of you, you have this thing that's constantly going, this is how things are, this is how things are, over and over. You're constantly making the choice to set the reality to how you know it is. And until you become aware that this is what's going on, you're doing this completely automatically and unconsciously. So what happens is that when we want to change something, but we don't yet understand this mechanism that we're the ones choosing and making reality be what it is from moment to moment, what we tend to do is that we go, well, okay, there are these facts outside of me that are the way they are, and so I need to go and make those facts change in order to be able to have a different experience. But if you understand that it's all just a projection that you're constantly choosing over and over, then you understand that the only reason the facts are the way they are is because you keep choosing them. Even if they have been that way for years and years, and therefore according to human logic they're unlikely to change or ever be different, if you understand that it's all just a projection, then you'll start to see that the reason these things have been that way for years is because you've been choosing the same reality over and over for years. So this is why I say that you need to loosen your attachment to the current reality. Because if you're sitting there going, this is how things are, I need to change them, you're just going to keep creating that. You're going to keep projecting out a reality that contains all these unwanted facts that you desperately want to change, but that just keep showing up no matter what you do. So the way to change things isn't to somehow try to shift things around or make things change within the current reality. It's to see the current reality as one option. It's like going to your Netflix menu and going, okay, so I chose that horror movie last time and I'm really not enjoying that anymore. So which movie do I want to pick instead? So you're allowing yourself to go to the field of infinite possibilities. You're not looking at the current reality and going, how can I change this? You're completely turning your attention elsewhere and choosing what story you'd like to move into based on your desires and preferences, not based on looking at the current reality and trying to figure out how you can change it. Because what we tend to do is that we get this feeling that we desire something, and then instead of going to the field of infinite possibilities like I'm telling you to do, we go and look at the current reality. And we look at the current facts and we go, you see, what I want just isn't possible. Look at the facts. There's no way they can lead to the outcome I want. And you'd be right. That's the thing. The current reality is set to play out a certain way. You know it. You can sense it. You know that the outcome based on the current setup is going to lead to an unwanted outcome and not to the outcome that you want. But the solution isn't to fight with that. The solution is to tune out of that reality and to tune into a different one. And the reason most of us don't do this is because it's not an easy thing to do, at least not initially, not until you understand how to do it. Why? Because you're essentially picking a new movie while the old movie is blaring out very loudly in your face. I don't know if you've ever had the experience of trying to remember one song while another song is playing. It's really hard, isn't it? Because the song that is playing throws you off and keeps making you think of that song. And it stops you from being able to think about the other song that you're trying to remember. And this is kind of the same thing. So you need to develop the ability of not getting sucked into whatever the current facts are, and understanding that this is just one reality that is playing out, and go and choose the reality that you do want, even though you're still immersed in that old reality for the time being. So once you've chosen the reality that you want, you need to learn to not go and refer back to the current reality to check whether it's possible. Because otherwise, what will happen is, obviously in the current reality it isn't possible, and so you'll end up looking at the current facts and completely shutting down the possibility of moving to another reality based on what you're seeing in the current one. You need to develop the art of choosing the reality that you want and then leaving it completely in the hands of the source to work out how to move you from one reality to another. The moment you let yourself try to get involved in the how, you'll just shut it down. Because from a logical point of view, if the facts are like this, then they can't be like that. If you know that you have very little money and you're choosing to move into a reality where you're wealthy, if you let yourself get into the logic of it, your mind will completely shut you down. Because if you don't have much money now and you've spent a lifetime of not having enough money, and you can't see a way for you to ever have a lot of money, then you just won't let yourself entertain the possibility of you being in a reality where you are wealthy. But if you see it as something that the source is orchestrating for you, beyond what your mind can comprehend, and you let go of needing to understand how it's possible, and you just lean into trusting the source to create it for you, then you will see how the facts will rearrange themselves to align with the new reality you've chosen. But it won't happen if you keep reinforcing that the facts are like this, the facts are like this. You need to let the facts be fluid and changeable. Don't hold so tightly to them. Know that you're being moved into the new reality, that the facts are being rearranged for you. It doesn't matter what the facts look like now. It matters what reality you're choosing to move into, what you're trusting the source to create for you. When you do things this way, change can happen really, really fast. Why? Because you're not using logic to slow things down, to put the brakes on. Because when you're putting your trust in the physical facts and you're looking for answers in the current reality, then when the current reality is showing you the impossibility of getting what you want, if you're basing what you know to be true on the facts that you're seeing, then internally you're setting the setting to, what I want is impossible. It can't ever happen. I'm going to have to continue to put up with this unwanted thing forever. And that is what gets projected out. That's what you'll continue to cause yourself to experience over and over. Whereas if you allow yourself to go, I don't know how this can possibly work out. I can't see how on earth this situation can ever turn into my desired outcome. But just because I can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not possible. God can make a way where there is no way. I am choosing to trust the source over and above logic. And therefore I know that this is what's unfolding and this is what is being created for me right now. And if you lean more into that feeling rather than the feeling of this is impossible, there's no way this can ever happen, then you'll find that things will begin to shift. And what looked like closed doors and impossibility starts to open up. And you'll start to see doors that you didn't even realize were there. It's like things start to come into view that you were completely blind to before. You need to learn to trust the source over and above logic. You need to learn to go, it really doesn't matter what I'm seeing around me. That's the old reality. That's what I'm moving away from. The source is creating something for me that I can't even see yet. It has laid the whole path out for me, and all I need to do is walk forwards one step at a time. Think of the source or your higher self like when you have your GPS system in your car. When you want to go somewhere, you set the destination and then you let the GPS direct you step by step. You don't get all thrown around by what you're seeing around you as you're driving along, by the streets that you're passing through and what you can see out of the window. Your focus is on that GPS. You're letting that guide you. You know that you've got the destination set to where you want to go. You know that the system has worked out the ideal path to get you to that destination. And now you're just trusting the system to guide you there. Treat your connection with the source in the same way. Choose the outcome. Make sure you've got things set so that you're on the path that you want to be on, the one that is taking you where you want to go. And then once you know that this is set correctly, don't try to control things anymore. Trust that the whole path has now been perfectly laid out for you, and let your intuition tell you what step to take next, right now, in this moment. That's all you need to know. You don't need to understand what the plan for the whole of next week and next month and next year is. You don't need to know how everything is going to unfold. You just need to trust that the whole plan is now laid out, and just let yourself be guided along it. The more you can let go of needing to know how and needing to have physical guarantees and reassurance, and the more you learn to listen to yourself and notice what you feel pulled to do in the moment, and you follow that, the more perfectly you'll find that everything gets orchestrated for you. So, as we finish up today, I just want to remind you of this one powerful truth. The way to change things isn't to fix your current reality, it's to choose a new one. Because you're never stuck, you're never limited, not really. You're simply watching the results of your past assumptions play out on the screen, like an old movie that's been running on loop. But now that you know this, you can pick something new. You can change the channel. You can choose again. Now, in this moment. And yes, your current reality might still be loud. It might still be playing full volume. But you don't have to keep engaging with it. You don't have to argue with it. You don't have to wait for it to give you permission. All you have to do is go within, connect to the source, and choose again. From the place of your deepest knowing, from the place of your desire, from the place of trust. Let the bigger part of you, the source within you, lead the way. You don't need to see the whole map. You only need to set the destination and take the step that feels aligned right now. That's it. That is how you shift realities. So loosen your grip on the current story. Let it fade into the background. And instead, turn your focus to the one you actually want to live. Pick your new movie, set your destination, trust the source, let it create that path for you, and then walk forwards with this wonderful feeling of knowing that everything that you want has been laid out ahead of you and is waiting for you to reach it. You're always being guided, you're always being supported. And everything you want is already available to you. You just need to be willing to let it in. I'll leave you with this. Don't try to make the current reality change to match your dream. Choose that you get to live your dream and then allow the source to transform the current reality into what you have chosen. Because I promise you, it absolutely will, if you let it. Okay, that is it from me for today. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.